Hey Tommy, we're here in Moab, the playground for off-roading, and the question is, should we take the harder option or the easier option?
Oh, you know we're going to take the harder option because today we're out here with the brand new Ford F-150 Raptor R.
Now last time we were out here with our previous Raptor, we took our round exhaust pipes and made them oval.
Yeah, and we're probably going to do the same thing today, Dad, but we've got a couple of different obstacles we're going to do in this fun one-take style video. Just a casual day out here in Moab. We're actually out here for a different project, but we had a spare hour, so we thought we'd give a quick run in the Raptor R.
Yeah, so of course, as you know, Tommy, the Raptor R is the ultimate Raptor. It is the one, well, let's start with what makes this so unique, and that is what's under the hood. You want to tell them what's under the hood?
Yeah, so this is the supercharged V8 equipped Raptor, which means you get 700 horsepower out of a forced inducted supercharged V8. Now look, here's the thing. This engine's fantastic, but so is the price tag. It is fantastically expensive. Dad, what was the MSRP on this truck?
It's $110,000, Tommy.
Yeah, $110,000 for an F-150, which is nuts. But this is the top dog F-150, so of course it's got the long travel Fox suspension. This one has the 37-inch tall tires by BFG. This is the KO2, of course. Rear locking diff. No limited slip in the front anymore, though, so we're going to see if that creates any challenges out on the trail. But yeah, I'm excited about this one, Dad.
You want to show them the party trick with the exhaust? Here, I'll give you the key.
Yeah, so we have a couple of different exhaust modes on this Raptor R. You control it on the steering wheel.
Here, I'm going to go back here and then we can show them the difference.
Yeah. So here, right here, are the two little exhaust pipes. And we can go through 4 different exhaust sounds. So Dad, why don't you go in the back?
All right, start with normal and you can kind of tell them the difference and go for it. Okay, I'm listening, go for it.
Yeah, so the big one is quiet. Quiet is pretty subtle. Then from there, you've got your normal. Beyond that, you've got sport. And then the craziest one is the off-road, or the Baja mode, which is for off-road use only.
Oh, that is loud, dude. Oh, that's got to be over 120 decibels. My ears are ringing, but that is so cool. And we are here off-road, so it's completely kosher to do that. Well,
I mean, we probably just woke up half the campsites within the next 5 miles in Moab.
It's America, dude.
But
it's the sound of freedom, come on.
Here's what we're gonna do. We've got a nice little stretch of trail here, so why don't we take it down the trail? We got a frame bender to do, we got One Tree Hill, and we're gonna see how the clearance is, the approach departure, maybe some of the traction aids, and see how the Raptor performs.
Yeah, and then we'll end it with Butt Scratcher, which is where last time we ovaled our exhaust pipes, right?
That's right.
All right, let's jump in and do it. Come on, let's go.
All right.
Now you were a little grumpy because of the sight lines.
I am still grumpy because of the sight lines. Coming from the world of small, nimble off-roaders, getting into a Raptor, even coming to the world of old trucks, right? Like you'd go into a GMT 400 from the 90s or an OBS Ford, and the noses aren't 9 feet off the ground. Look how high the hood is in this truck, and then there's a vertical fall off when you get to the headlights, and then they put this piece of Tupperware on the hood. So like, instead of seeing where I'm going, all I'm looking at is looking at this big piece of black plastic. Which
well, first of all, that big piece of plastic is the only way you can signal to the rest of the world that you got a Raptor, right? Because it's different from the regular Raptor. I mean, the thing I want people to know if I've got one of these is that I've got the top dog Raptor, and that's the only way really you can tell, except for the exhaust note.
I do think that they went a little subtle with the R.
Yeah, I mean, the sticker package, fine.
Well, the sticker package is a bunch of tiny, tiny, tiny little 8s. And then
two Vs.
Yeah, and then a little R, which is red or orange, and then when you get the red or orange one, you can't see it. So I really think that they should have done something wild on this truck, like, I don't know, just say screw it and give it side pipes or something goofy, right? I know that would be worse for off-road, but it'd be really cool. Oh, a little tricky here. Case, you want to film this?
Yeah, why don't you jump out, Case? Actually, I'll kind of help you if that's okay. I'll spot you, Tommy. All right, I'll be quiet. You talk.
All right. Got this nice little articulated section. Gonna come hard down this way, and we shall see how the articulation is. The nice thing about the Raptor is it's so wide that side slopes really aren't that scary in this truck because there's just so much width. Parking sensors are freaking out a little bit here. Let me turn those off. Independent front suspension, solid rear axle, articulating nicely there. Feeling really quite good. It's got a beautiful ride, this truck. Absolutely phenomenal ride. With those long travel independent front control arms just flexing away beautifully, soaking up the bumps. The thing about a truck like this though is so I was out here on this trail yesterday.
Yeah.
In a 61 Willys CJ5.
And that video will be on all TFL.
Yeah, you're going to see that video soon. And this trail was an absolute joy in that vehicle because you were
old man Tommy.
Well, you were fighting for it, right? That made you work for it. You were bouncing around, no power steering. You're trying to avoid the big rocks. You get in a Raptor with 37s, and it's like you're going for a walk in the park. So the level of capability in these new Raptors is so high where to really challenge yourself in the vehicle, you have to really start putting a lot of sheet metal at risk on some of these trails.
You know, the only thing that kept you in that CJ, Tommy, was that bikini top.
Yeah, but
otherwise, you would have bounced out of it.
It was an adventure. Look at this. It's just like bloop, bloop, bloop,
well,
bloop,
it's
bloop.
an adventure until you have a bad back like me, which makes it undrivable.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So the other good thing, of course, here is the cameras. You've got cameras all around. In this case, we've got our front-facing camera because we do have that piece of plastic that is actually blocking the view. But you can, drive by looking out the side window. You can drive by looking at the camera. Cameras actually aren't grand because they make everything pretty flat.
Yeah, right. Like
when it isn't.
You couldn't see that bump there.
Nope.
That's okay though. What is nice, so this truck does have a number of different off-road modes, ranging from Baja to rock crawl. Right. There's a sport mode. There's a tow haul, and look, I think off-road modes are oftentimes a little bit overrated. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, I got stuck in normal mode, let me stick it in off-road and I'm magically going to get unstuck. That's not the case. But what it does do, is it does dampen the throttle response when you go into rock crawl, right? It does set up the damping rates and the shock absorbers to the point where it allows a little bit more freedom in articulation. So these are the things that the truck can change, which does have a very positive impact on the experience.
Yeah, so I was driving the support truck yesterday, which was the RAM 2500 Cummins, which we've also added Fox suspension to. And I can tell you the sightlines on that and the weight of that thing make this no fun. Whereas the Raptor, yes, you're right, it does make it a little bit less challenging. But you know what? There's enough butt crunchiness to go around on this trail without having to make it more butt crunchy by having, 61 technology in that CJ. Like going down this thing, you were terrified that your single pod brakes would fail.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Let's talk about that part.
Disc brakes are a nice addition to the off-road community, I agree, as are power brakes. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing too that you can do this with this much comfort in here. Ventilated seat on, you got your Bluetooth audio going, Apple CarPlay streaming, you got Onyx off-road in the screen, helping you navigate where to go. All really good stuff.
Yeah, and this obstacle, and I'll just talk for a second, and I'll let you talk, is called the frame bender. Come on, Case, come with me, I'll show you. And the reason we call it the frame bender is because, I'll show you, there's a pretty steep drop off right about there where all the people have hit. So you can see where the people have hit, and that is what causes the length of the vehicle to hit on the frame. So we'll see how the Raptor does. All right, Tommy, come on. Keep coming, keep coming. Straight ahead, straight ahead. You're 6 feet, 5 feet. You're 3 feet. You're good, you're good. We're about 2 feet. You're perfectly lined up. You're about to go over it. You got about a foot now. Okay, you're 6 inches. The right passenger front tire is about to go over. Okay, you're about to go right about now. There we go. And if you didn't have enough clearance or enough tire there, you would bend the frame. or you would hit the front. You can also hit the back of the hitch on this. A lot of trucks scratch, and this is where taller suspension and bigger tires certainly help a lot. So let's see how it does. You're about to go over, Tommy. You got 6 inches, 3 inches. You're about to go. Let's see if it hits. Oh, close. Those exhaust pipes. Oh, we hit. I heard it. I think we hit the hitch. Let's see. Did we hit the hitch? That'd be my guess. I think we hit the hitch. That's okay. Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to walk along.
Perfect.
Okay, come on down the rest of the way, and then we'll do One Tree Hill.
All right, sounds good. So one thing I'm noticing is just how smooth this vehicle is when it comes to applications of not only throttle but brake. So it's super easy to keep this vehicle nice and steady, super easy to modulate on the trail, and the steering rate is perfect too, right? Not too fast, not too slow. It's very progressive and predictable. So never are you like, you know, you hear the word 700 horsepower and you expect it to be twitchy and very willing to misbehave, but it's actually beautifully set up for this kind of thing, and that it's really easy to modulate and really easy to drive smooth, which is great. All right, we got One Tree Hill coming up. Now, One Tree Hill is a steep ascent, and then it's probably going to get the vehicle fully articulated, and then that'll be a test of the traction aids. But before we get there, we actually have some pretty big bumps to traverse over here. It's amazing, though, what 37-inch tall tires will do to a vehicle.
So why didn't we are down, Tommy?
Because we are in a rush.
We are in a rush. We have a lot more videos to shoot. This is kind of just a, you know, we got to take the Raptor through.
And quite honestly, on this trail we're at right now, on 37s, the Raptor just doesn't need to be aired down. It is that impressive. Okay. Got some pretty good sized bumps here. We're going to see how the ground clearance is, see how the suspension deals with some of these larger pieces of slick rock. Take the harder line here. Oh yeah, feels awesome. No worries. Man, the clearances on this truck are just incredible. Get so much ground clearance.
How's the throttle response, Tommy?
Good, we were talking about that a little earlier, Dad.
Yeah, okay.
Feels excellent.
All right, hold up here, would you?
Yep.
Me and Case are going to walk up there. I'm going to talk for like 2 minutes. Then when I stop, I'll stop talking. You go for it, okay?
Yep.
So I'm going to tell you a little story walking up here. Last time I was here, I was in the Hummer EV, and this is about where my four-wheel drive decided to take a break. And so I had to go up this hill in two-wheel drive, and that's a good way to create a lot of tire smoke. And the Hummer EV was supposed to be, or is supposed to be, the ultimate off-roader. That's what GM said. But in two-wheel drive, the weight of 9,000 pounds makes this very tricky. So let's see how Tommy does.
All right. One Tree Hill in the Raptor R. I'm gonna try it first with my rear diff unlocked. Try to get this thing off kilter a little bit here. The issue is, if you get it wrong, you end up sliding into the tree. Which is not what you want. All right.
You're gonna have to lock the rear, dude.
We have run out of traction, Dad. I'm locking the rear diff. Come on, Raptor. Oh yeah, look at that.
And it's that easy.
Walked right up it.
You made that look easy.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think part of the advantage on this trail, at least, you know, like the Bronco Raptor has a pretty short wheelbase in comparison, which helps in a lot of instances, like with breakover. But on a lot of these trails, having some wheelbase actually helps a lot because it allows the front end and the rear end to be on different zip codes relative to the rock. And oftentimes when the rear end is stuck in some loose shale, you can get the front end on some firm, grippy terrain, and off you go.
Shall we go down butt clencher together before we hit over to ass scratcher?
Oh, sure.
All right, let's go.
Give that a go. This truck has a lot of off-road technology in it.
It is. It does have a lot. So let's kind of, if you go over to all TFL, you can probably see at some point our special, and all the Jeeps that we took up here had open divs, and they all struggled to get past that point. Well, you saw what happened with Tommy, right? You basically...
Yeah, and I could have powered through it and backed up, got some speed, but we wanted to try out the locker actuation. It was really, really good. Turn it off, push in. This is kind of cheap, this like little four-wheel drive toggle.
Yeah, they always look like that. I mean, look. Here is the iced tea cap. Here is the toggle. They're about the same.
All right, so I've got the, yeah, right, they're basically the same. I've got the trail control on now, Dad, for this descent.
Okay.
And with trail control, you push this little button here.
Yep.
And then you set a speed using the cruise control toggle. So right now I've set it to 2 miles an hour.
Okay.
And then you take your foot off of the throttle pedal, and the truck can hold the speed that you set it.
Off-road cruise control.
Yeah, basically. And then you let the truck do the thinking. So we're going to try that on the descent down the butt clencher, see how it works. So basically, like in the world of four-wheel drive, we started with the descent control, and then Toyota realized, hey, we can use this for ascent with crawl control, and then all the other manufacturers have implemented one since.
Can you believe we've owned every generation of the Raptor at this point?
Hey, which one has been your favorite?
Oh, my heart has to go out to that first gen. Remember, it was blue. It had the big old V8, right? The 6.2 liter. And we called it, I think, Blackbeard because we put a winch on it, and then the plate that holds the winch kind of, to the truck got all rusty. That was a really fun truck. I still, have a special place in my heart for that. All right, well, let's see how it does taking us down this very steep hill, Tommy.
All right, that sounds good. So I've got the 2 mile an hour set there on the trail control.
Okay.
And we'll see if it keeps us at 2 or if it's going to speed up. Oh, it's trying to speed up, but there it goes. It's holding us.
Yeah. Oh, that's like, that is,
that is steep.
That is steep. Yeah.
There you go, and we were able to crawl down. So yeah, so that was all the truck. So if you're worried about, having to work the brake and the throttle, you can use the trail control feature there. And what's called trail one pedal drive, technically.
Yeah.
You want to get...
Now, some other nice things about this truck is we have heated and cooled seats, and it's getting hot out here.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be 110 today, so I'm turning my vented seats on, Tommy.
The other thing, too, is driving the 6 hours plus out here,
Yeah.
there's almost nothing more comfortable than a Raptor.
Yeah, I can't think of a more comfortable truck on a road trip because you can just set that suspension. Are you unlocking the rear diff?
Yeah.
Are you doing Baja mode?
Check this out. So then when the speed gets a little higher,
Yeah, like
this is where this truck really shines, right?
Yep, yeah.
Through some of the sandy area. This is where you want the Raptor. It's a little tight here, so we can't get too fast. But in these sandy washes, that's when you can really see the advantage you're going for the F-150 is you get the longer wheelbase over like the Bronco, and it really can build up some speed quite nicely through these sections. Look at that.
Yeah, so let's talk about the competitors to this, right? Chevy has the new ZR2 Silverado Bison, which has the AEV parts on it, but unfortunately it doesn't have more than the the big old V8 under the hood.
Right, and you got the ZR2, I think, is a slightly different beast because you get the selectable front locker in that vehicle as well. So that is definitely geared more toward the rock crawling community. They lost the Torsen front diff on this Raptor. You get a ton of emails about that. I think for the average use case of a Raptor, it's not going to matter at all. You still have the computers to modulate the brakes, to try to simulate a locking diff. And let's be honest, too, 110 grand, not a lot of people are going to be putting these vehicles in a condition where you're going to need the front diff lock.
Yep, and then I think the most obvious competitor was, of course, the TRX, Tommy.
Right.
Which we also owned.
Yeah.
And, when we compared the EcoBoost Raptor to the TRX, my conclusion at the end of it was, do you want the sledgehammer, the TRX, or do you want the scalpel, the Raptor? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That is phenomenal. Just soaking up all these bumps. This truck is eating it. Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. Hell yes! Oh, look at that power! Oh my god. This is so much fun. Instant torque. Oh, and the sound! Oh. But now with this Raptor R, is it still a scalpel, is my question.
Well, yeah, I think it's a better scalpel. So I think what Ford has done is they've added some refinement and some more precision to the off-road experience in the Raptor than what the TRX offers. TRX is a fantastic truck. I really like the supercharger whine too. You get a lot more supercharger sound in the TRX and the Raptor.
Yeah, the immediate difference is the TRX in terms of sound has much more supercharger whine, whereas the Raptor has much more exhaust note.
I really like the suspension calibration on the Raptor more, and I really like the steering on the Raptor more, so it's much more precise. And I just think, I mean, the Bilsteins on the Ram are impressive. I think Fox does a better product on the Raptor than what Bilstein has offered. It's got a little bit more rear suspension travel and a little bit more ground clearance, 11.8 inches in the Ram versus 11.5 in the Raptor. The front diff is much more conventional, more of an open diff with a brake-based traction control system versus a true limited slip, but it does have a rear diff lock. Now I'm in the low range. Let me make sure I'm in the rock crawl setting, which I am.
There you can see the coil springs. That is really articulated.
Very calm actually at slow speeds. It's got a big lumpy V8, and it doesn't feel high strung at all, which is one of my favorite parts about this truck. Trying to take the same line as the Raptor, but it's kind of hard to tell because it is a little bit tricky to see out of this truck. Stepping out of that Ford into this TRX is like going from a Ranger to a Ram 3500. I mean, just everything feels bigger and more substantial. And you'd think that'd be a good thing, but when you're trying to do slow rock crawling, not so sure that's such a good thing in some instances. But they're both going to be really good trucks.
Yeah, but I like the design of the TRX better. It's got that kind of Coke bottle shape, you know.
Yeah, it's also more pronounced than the Raptor R, right?
Right. You can tell the difference.
You can tell it's TRX.
Yeah, you can tell TRX. And once upon a time, the TRX was actually cheaper. But now with like the special edition they recently came out with, it was also $9,000. So, you know, they're pretty competitive in terms of pricing as well. If you get the top of the line, you know, TRX with all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, they very expensive trucks, both of them now. Yeah. But of course, Ford still offers the V6 Raptor. You know.
Yeah. And
so if you don't want the massive V8, and it seems like they're having kind of a hard time delivering the V8s because we get about 20 emails a week from Raptor R order holders asking where their trucks are, and we just don't know.
And we know they're developing a next, well, I don't know if it's the next gen, but it's certainly a
facelift, yeah.
There's a facelift version coming because we've seen spy photos of it, which is kind of a little bit of a head scratcher because they still haven't finished, you know, building and delivering
the 23s.
The 23s, yeah. Mm-hmm. So if it were your money, Raptor or TRX?
I think probably the Raptor. I do like this a lot. This truck. Mm. I enjoyed the TRX a lot too, but this just feels a little bit more nimble and a little bit more precise. But how about you? Which one did you like more?
You know, it depends on my use case, right? So if I wasn't off-roading, I would take this.
If you weren't,
let me go the other way. If I wasn't doing much off-roading, I would take the TRX.
Oh yeah.
It's much more, it flexes a lot more, right? But if I wanted to go off-roading, I would take this.
Well, the thing is...
And they're both incredible. I mean, now we're talking just degrees of subtlety, but this is a little bit more precise. It's a little bit more dialed when it comes to off-road. That one's a little bit more showy and a little bit more, I don't know, flexy when it comes on-road.
And the thing about both of these trucks, though, Dad, is there are owners groups that take these off-road, and you see those videos of them racing in the desert.
Yes.
But I would say the huge majority of these trucks never see dirt, ever, you know. So it's more just which one do you like the look of? Towing capability is fairly similar. I think the Raptor tows a little bit more, doesn't it?
They upped it. I think it's 86 or 8,700. They went 500 more pounds than the TRX. I think the TRX is 81 now.
And then sound, you know, you get a lot more supercharger wail out of that 6.2, which I love. The Raptor, though, you get a lot more exhaust sound, so it's kind of a preference there as well.
All right, well, we have reached the portion of the video where we're going to see if we actually damage our truck. Or should I say personalize it in a typical TFL way?
Yes, good point, Dad.
So I'll hop out and you come down and we'll see if we're gonna oval those round tailpipes.
Ooh, not off to a good start, even on that.
You think you hit the back of it?
I sure did.
Oh boy.
See a nice tattoo on the rock there.
Okay, let's see what we did already. Oh yeah, look at that. There and there. At least they're still round. They're not oval.
Did we already oval them?
No, but you did do a nice job on the. And that's baby butt scratcher.
That's baby butt scratcher.
All right, come on down. Let's go see how it goes. Be careful here, Case. It's a little steep. It's a lot steep for the truck. All right, so as you guys can tell, many vehicles have come through here and many vehicles have hit their hitches or the back end. Let's see how the Raptor does. The first test is see how the chin does. Sometimes it will dig itself into the sand, and that's always a good indication that we're gonna pancake the tailpipes if it digs itself in the sand. So here we go. You're good there, Tommy. All right, let me talk. You just drive.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna watch the tailpipes now. Keep going. So far, so good, Tommy. Now it's gonna get interesting. And there's no backing up, so. Oh God, we're already hitting one. Hold on, stop, Tommy. Why don't you go around in case? Let's see how much we're hitting it. We're hitting the driver's side. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Oh, quite the tattoo. Quite the tattoo. And that's even on 37s.
Did it squish?
It didn't squish it.
Wow.
It just scratched it.
There you go. And it looks like, compared to the previous Raptor too, that these are a little chonkier.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of kind of side deflection there, which is good.
But look, Tommy, I am proud of us. We have left.
You have left a proud mark there, Dad.
Yeah. Okay, check this out. We have left the longest mark on the rock here. All right, so come around this way, Tommy. So we're not shooting into the sun, and we'll kind of sum up our feelings before we end this video. So you're kind of grumpy about this truck in some ways.
No, I love it. I think it's fantastic.
All right.
I really love this truck. What I'm grumpy about is the tiny percentage of Americans that can afford $110,000 for a truck, and then the even tinier percentage of Americans that are willing to put a $110,000 truck in harm's way. Like if you could buy this package, and I'm living in the 80s, but if you could buy this package for 65 grand, I mean, I would be the happiest guy out there, or 55, right? But at 110, you're really competing against not only every other truck in the market, but a lot of supercars. So it's a big ask.
You know, I disagree 100%. I think the amount of technology, the amount of like off-road and on-road cred you get with a Raptor is worth every penny. And I'm putting that into context. I mean, you know, if you look at it from, let's say, a Porsche world or any of the exotic car worlds, this is the top dog truck, and yet it's relatively affordable. Keep that in mind in terms of like I know people with trucks have gotten used to paying $30,000, $40,000, so 110 is a big ask. But when you look at the amount of technology that goes in here, the amount of just pure engineering, I think 110 is still affordable for the amount of off-road goodness this brings.
I mean, what would be really cool is if Ford offered a 5-liter Coyote naturally aspirated Raptor that was really stripped down for like 55 grand.
Now you're like one of the comments.
I know, but it's true. That would be awesome. That'd be really, really cool. But guys, let us know
Hey, you want that? Get yourself a first gen.
Yeah,
Those are $30,000, $35,000 all day long.
That's a good point. Yeah, let us know what you guys think of the Raptor in the comment section. Dad, thank you for letting me drive your truck off-road. I had a ton of fun. It's an impressive machine with a lot of technology that really works well. But as always, it's been Tommy.
And Roman, let me show you something. I just wish that there was more to this truck than this.
You really like to point out this little V, Dad.
I know, because it really pisses me off. So the only way you can tell, really, except for the exhaust note, is all these 8s, there's one, actually it's another V, so 2 Vs on the whole truck. Come on, Ford, you can do better. Make this thing a little bit more.
I'm telling you, side pipes would have been cool. And a spoiler, put a wing on the back of it.
I'll go for the side pipes. Keep the spoiler off. All right, see you guys next time. Ciao.